Oh boy, do we have something to talk about today? What is up, T.O.Gs? So if you've been around for a while, if you've been watching my channel, if you've known at least that I've been making videos for coming up on 4 years, which to me just seems like that, right? It just doesn't seem like anything. You know that there are things that I want to do, there are things that like moto adventures I want to have, things that I want to try. If you've been here long enough to remember a discussion that I had about three-wheeled vehicles, one of them being the Polaris Slingshot, the other one being the Can Am Spyder, you know that I've wanted to get on one, I've kind of wanted to test ride one, and so, I mean, this is like years in the making, right? I've been wanting to do this. A friend of mine, Moto Carry, let me know that Can Am was bringing the demo truck around and that they were doing demo rides. So anyway, I was so stoked. Booked my reservation for my demo ride a month in advance. You know, meticulously made sure all of my batteries for all of my equipment was charged. Brought my wife along for the ride so that we could get a rider or a passenger perspective of how it felt to ride the Can Am Spyder. Everything was all perfect. Got there. We were the only ones there for that ride slot. So it was just us and the guide, and everything seemed to be going well. It was a bit windy, kind of like it is today. And, you know, everything seemed like just a great day. And I did the stupidest thing that I have ever done on my channel. I left the lens cap on my camera. So you got a whole 40 minutes of test ride like this.
Flashback.
Okay. It's such a rookie mistake, such a, you know, I could go on and on about this, and I'm not going to dwell on it too long because like I said, it was just so disheartening when I found out that I had done that after the ride. So let's talk about what I can control, which is talking about the Spyder, and we rode the RT Limited. It was an amazing ride. It really was. It was a really nice day. The ride was a really nice country back road ride. The guide was really nice, and you know, walked us through the bike. Or if you don't think Can Am has a bike, he walked us through the vehicle, and we went on a 22-mile ride, and it was awesome. Had my wife with me, and so she was able to enjoy the afternoon with me. And it was, despite all the preparation and everything that I wanted to do because of this ride for so long, we had a great day. We really did. But for those of you who maybe are considering a Spyder or are riding a motorcycle right now, and maybe for physical reasons or for any other reason, you're kind of mulling over buying a Spyder RT or a Spyder. The one we rode was the RT Limited. There's a few other models. You can also go for the less expensive Ryker model, which is comes in a 600 and a 900cc engine, but the Spyder comes only in the 1300cc 3-cylinder inline engine. You're only going to get about, I wanted to say it's like 47 horsepower or 45 horsepower out of the lowest model, the base model Ryker. The 900cc model, I think, gives you, I want to say, somewhere in the 70s horsepower. And then the Spyder offers up to 107 horsepower. And despite the power that it delivers, at least in the model that I rode, the RT Limited, it was more like the acceleration on a sporty-ish car. I wouldn't even call it like a sports car acceleration, but it was nice. And the fact that I was able to ride on it with my wife and still be able to get on it a little bit, it was decent. For those of you who are maybe like riding a sport bike or a sportier motorcycle, you're going to be underwhelmed with the power if you're thinking about getting a Spyder and maybe touring it, because this is where the Spyder, the Can Am Spyder, really shines as a touring bike, because I mean the seat was just plush, super comfortable. The handling and the suspension was awesome. The Spyder actually comes with adaptive power steering, which means when you need, when you're just riding like straight in a straight line, it's only gonna deliver so much power to the steering. But then when you really need to make a turn, it's really gonna help you out. You know, so you don't have to really twist or turn on the handlebars. You know, you gotta get used to the fact that there's no counter steering, and you have to slow down for turns. You're not going to be able to really get into a turn. But for those of you who are considering it because they don't want to worry about the riding a motorcycle leaning into a turn and maybe getting into a low side crash, the Spyder also comes with standard ABS on all 3 wheels, and it also comes with traction control. So if at any time during a turn it feels one of the wheels coming off the ground, it's gonna reduce the power, or maybe take the power away from the engine completely, put that wheel back on the ground and let you keep going. So a lot of technology, a lot of thought going into the Spyder. After all these years of wanting to ride one and finally getting to ride one, I was impressed. I really was impressed. And this isn't to put people down who ride Spyders, but I do absolutely see the merit in riding a Spyder. I mean, I can see, especially for my wife who's a little bit leery of riding on the highway with me on my bike, she felt much safer on the Spyder. The fact that we're not going to be able to, you know, low side crash, that having her on the back and maybe tipping the bike over at a stop, none of those things are a concern. On the Spyder, she can actually mount the bike first and sit there and just wait for me to get on and get going, whereas, you know, difficult to do that on a motorcycle. And also the gas tank's right underneath the rider, or the driver's seat, they call it the driver's seat. And so when you're filling up and she doesn't feel like getting off, she can just stay seated on that passenger seat. It really is a fantastic machine. You know, Can Am's been making Spyders. I think their parent company's BRP, and really, for me personally, I can see the thought that's gone into the engineering. You know, that screen is really vibrant. It's like a 7.8-inch wide screen monitor. It's got Bluetooth. You can also hook up your devices via USB. You know, there's USB ports in the top bag behind the passenger seat. I mean, it's like a fully loaded touring machine. And really, when you're comparing it to like a really nice Harley tourer, I think the top of the line Can Am Spyder, the RT Limited, it comes in about, I want to say it comes in at around $27,000. I'll have that number for you here on the screen for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's a toy, right? It's one of those things that you're going to take out for the weekend and get out there, you know, and see the world. And so it's something, coming from my perspective as a motorcycle rider, and someone who was always curious about the Spyder, I would recommend, at the very least, if you're thinking about it, maybe try out the Ryker, which starts at a much more reasonable price. I want to say it's a little over $8,000 to start. You know, you're not going to get as much power as you are with the Spyder, but at the same time, I don't know that the power and the acceleration, that thrill of riding a motorcycle isn't there as much. But you still are going to get that experience of being out on the open road, right? The feeling of riding a motorcycle is still there, minus the thrill of having being on 2 wheels and really having a lot more, I would say, control over your bike. You know, it is very wide, obviously. It's got 3 wheels, and it's wider than a trike because those wheels come out a little bit further, I want to say, than on a trike. But you don't really feel that. And because those wheels are so close to your handlebars, I never felt like, oh, can I see where, if the wheels are going to hit a curb, or if I'm going to miss this turn, or if I'm going to end up on the shoulder here with the wheels. No, you feel like you're in total control. And the power steering, you know, maybe if you're concerned about like having power steering on a vehicle like that, it wasn't a problem at all. And I will just say, especially for those of you maybe who I think maybe age is a factor with people who buy Spyders. You know, maybe they rode motorcycles before and they're kind of afraid to get back into that. I mean, I would highly recommend, if you just enjoy being out on the open road, you know, twisting on that throttle. The RT Spyder was they call it semi-automatic because there's no clutch and there's no front wheel brake. It's all done with the right foot pedal, and you just have a little paddle shifter on the left handlebar, and it allows you to shift up, but all the downshifting is automatic. So I guess that's where they say it's semi-automatic, but there's no clutch, so it feels a little more less automatic or less manual than it really is. And you can also downshift if you want to. The other assist that it comes with is if you're shifting up and you're too low in the RPM, the computer inside the engine isn't going to let you shift up if it's not ready to let you shift up. So, guys, have you ridden a Spyder before? Do you ride one right now? How do you feel as far as like your attachment to the motorcycle riding community? I really always kind of wondered that. So if you've ridden a Spyder or you ride one right now, thinking about riding one, do you feel like you'll still be part of the community? I personally, after riding one, I see the overlap for sure. You know, some people who are just going to be that way anyway are going to turn their nose up at people who ride a Spyder, but I don't see the reasoning behind that. You know, if you just want to exclude people for the sake of excluding people, that's fine. But I loved the heck out of that thing. I completely see the merit, and oh gosh, how long has that blinker been on? That was the other thing. Self-canceling turn signals, which I'm just so terrible at, especially after getting my Harley back. I've just gotten really back into that bad habit of not turning my turn signal off on my Super Duke. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Thanks for allowing me to share my experience with you without actually going on it with me. At the end of the day, my wife said the same thing. She said we had so much fun, it was a fun ride, and you know, it's a bummer because it's been so long and this has been such a long time in the making that we didn't get you guys out there with us. But I appreciate you, like I said, sharing in the experience with me. If you liked this video, if you found it helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Guys, if you are out there riding on 2 wheels or 3 wheels, ride safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy, and I am